Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda. I'm autistic, I have ADHD. I have a memory disorder called SDAM, stands for Severely Deficient Autobiographical Memory, and I have total aphantasia, which means that I don't experience any of these senses in my mind. I talk about all of these on different videos, and so I have playlists, so make sure you check them out. So today it's kind of like a little tea time with Amanda, but instead of tea, I'm drinking a Poppy. This is a prebiotic soda. It is non-sponsored. I just love these things. They are so amazing and they're really good for your gut. And normally this would be when I have my tea, but today I just felt like a Poppy. Very light and refreshing. Anyway, I have so many things to say, and so I don't have a script, and per usual, my style of doing these YouTube videos is to edit as little as possible so that you have the experience as much as possible with the camera of talking to an actually autistic adult. And I've taken to really only editing out if my dogs go crazy barking in the background or if I have a pause that lasts for like a minute or something. But today I had therapy this morning, and oh my gosh, like I cried lots of tears. I was processing a lot. So my last video I was talking about 6 months. I was a little bit more than 6 months post-diagnosis. I got diagnosed autistic ADHD back in October of 22, and through that time, I've had some major roller coasters of emotion, and at first I was crying all the time. Just like I would find myself crying in the car. I was like sitting on the floor of my closet, which isn't something I used to ever do before diagnosis. But I'd sit on the floor of my closet and I would just like bawl out my eyes. I was just processing so much, because when you find out that you're autistic and you realize why things have happened the way they have in your life, it's a lot. There's anger, there's grief, there's just a lot to process. Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but I feel like when I start talking to the camera, my nose itches. Okay, so in the last video I was talking about how things have been getting a lot better, and they have. Like, I haven't been crying as much. Not that there's anything wrong with crying by any means, but just going from somebody who rarely ever cried to crying all the time, it was a notable difference, right? And I noticed that I kind of started to stabilize my emotions a little bit more, and things have been feeling good. I've been feeling periods of less anxiety, and it's been really good. But this week I've just, I guess, been processing a lot again, and I knew that there would be waves of it. One very notable thing that's very exciting is that the channel hit 10,000 subscribers. I went from about 1,000 to 10,000 within a month period. I want to say thank you so much to all the support. I also want to note that oftentimes autistic people, their face and tone don't emote the way that their internal feels. Sometimes, like, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed of emotion, so I can't emote the way that a neurotypical person would be emoting right now. And that's kind of what I'm also going to talk about in this video, is the level of awareness that I'm having. But let me circle back to the 10,000. So thank you so much. Advocating and spreading awareness about autism is just such a goal. I've talked about it before. I've wanted to be a disability advocate since I was a young teenager, and I didn't know how to do it. And then when I found out I was autistic, it was like this channel became my outlet, and I knew that I had to really put energy into bringing awareness and acceptance to all disabilities, with obviously a special focus on autism. So having the support of every single one of you is like making my dream come true. And I really appreciate that. The other ironic thing about that, though, is that I have PDA Autism, a Pathological Demand Avoidance Profile of Autism. And that has been something that has prevented me from being able to hold a job before in the past. I've been a stay-at-home mom since my kids were born, and part of the reason is that whenever I would try to work, the demands that a job, literally just getting paid, put on me makes it feel like my system has to shut down. People with PDA Profile of Autism will literally go into a fight or flight response, and it feels like so much that it can cause shutdowns, even when it's something that we want to do. In the past, this has been like, at one point I was going to try to monetize a craft that I was really good at. I used to make these towels, and I would sew kids' names on like swim towels, and I was getting pretty good at it, and I was making, I was selling them, just not like as a full-on business, but like a little side hobby kind of business. And as soon as like legit orders started to really start rolling in, I could not do it anymore. And at that time, just before I was diagnosed, I didn't know why. And it was really frustrating. And I just thought that it felt like there was something wrong with me. I'm like, what the heck? I worked hard at getting my name out there. I'm starting to get people to order these towels from me. And now it's like executive functioning kicks in, and it's like I literally could not make myself sew these towels anymore. Like it would just make me feel almost sick to my stomach to try to work on orders. And so my channel hitting 10,000 subscribers, I can feel the PDA start to come on, like, oh, there's demand now for what I am creating. And I love it. I want it. I love talking with all of y'all in the comments. You will notice that my comment section is extremely active because I enjoy connecting with anybody who, is leaving. I can't respond to all of the comments, but anybody who's leaving, thoughtful comments or like questions, I try to answer as many questions as I can. And it brings me immense joy. And I want to continue to do this, and I plan to continue to do this, but it is something that I'm actively struggling with, and I talked with over in my therapy today. And I'm sure there's others of you out there with PDA Profile of Autism, and it is very difficult when you want to do something and then your body won't let you do it. Oh, God, I did not want to cry today. It's just a day. Okay, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. I wanted to tell you how thankful I am for your support, and that y'all are building a community in this comment section. And I see some of y'all's names pop up over and over, and it brings a smile to my face. And when I see y'all commenting on each other's threads and supporting each other, this is y'all's community too, and I'm so thankful for it. Okay, now, the second part of the video that I wanted to talk about today is a little bit about awareness. So, before I was diagnosed autistic, I always felt like an outsider. I had people who were my friends, or I thought were as friends. A lot of times people that I thought of friends actually thought of me as an acquaintance. That's something that I'm now learning. a lot of times autistic people really struggle with understanding levels of friendship. And I would think somebody was a best friend and they would think I was an acquaintance at best. And you could see how unfulfilling and lopsided that would feel. Like I was always putting more into the relationship because it meant more to me, but I wouldn't get back that same energy, and I could feel it, and I knew it was going on, but I didn't know how to fix it or how to respond to it. Oftentimes I would feel like I would feel like the outsider of a group. Like if a mom's group would put together on a message board, like, hey, everyone, it was like a bunch of people who necessarily didn't know each other, let's get together and have a dinner at a restaurant. It was a mom's meetup, and I would go, and people would talk to me. They were nice to me because I can present as neurotypical for a short period of time, but nobody ever followed up with continued friendships with me. You know, like I sometimes would pursue somebody and sort of force a friendship to last for a while, but I've just struggled with creating and maintaining friendships my entire life, but I never understood why. Like I didn't know what was wrong with me. That's what it felt like. It felt like something was wrong. I always felt like I was missing some big clue. And then I get diagnosed autistic, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I'm autistic. Like literally in the diagnostic criteria is struggles with social situations, right? And so it all makes sense. Now here's what I'm struggling with currently. The awareness that people in this neurotypical society still do not have space for neurodivergent thinking. And there's an awareness now of that when I enter a space that is filled with neurotypical people, that I am different, and now I know why I'm different, and I don't know how to bridge that gap. Some people don't unmask for this very reason, but as I'm unmasking, it is harder for me to put on the mask. It's better for my mental health. I have been feeling, like in my last video I said, I've been feeling less stress for the first time in like years. It's good for me. But I'm also still very social, right? So I want to be making friends. But neurodivergency still is the minority. Like neurotypical, there's a lot of different neurodivergencies. It's not just autism. But neurotypical is still the predominant neurotype. And autistic people just don't fit in very well as their autistic self in neurotypical spaces. And just a really random example that came up this week on one of my mom's Facebook groups. It's just a local mom's group. This mom was giving away items. She's like, I'm cleaning out my house. I don't want these items. I'm going to put them on my porch for somebody who needs them. Ask me for my address. So another lady came by, and she got her address, and she picked up some of the items, and then she sold them in a garage sale. And a third mom saw the garage sale, recognized the items from the post, and told the first mom, who reported it to the mom's group and said, oh my gosh, could you believe this lady? I was giving away items and for somebody who needed them, and she sold them. And everybody attacked the garage sale mom, like to the point where they were saying they should egg her house, which I'm like, mom drama, we are freaking adults. What? No. But beyond that, okay, so I was talking to my therapist today. I don't know if this is neurotypical versus neurodivergent, or if it's just how people have been socialized to giving. But I feel, as a neurodivergent autistic person who likes to think very logically, that once a gift is given, it is out of the gift giver's hands, and the gift receiver can then do whatever they want with this gift. obviously, most of the people in my mom's group who are neurotypical very much disagreed with that. And they felt that this lady was actually having theft, that she was being greedy. Like, they threw a lot of really very negative words to the lady who sold, hold on, my dog. Very negative to the lady who sold these items. And what I was upset about was when I commented on the thread and I said, I don't see that she did anything wrong. She, once the gift giver gives the gifts, she no longer has a claim on them. The recipient maybe didn't need those items, but maybe she did need the money that came from the items. We can't judge that. And we can't judge what somebody's neediness level is. You can't judge what someone, each person's needs are going to be unique and different. A disabled person's needs are going to be different than an able-bodied person's needs. Financially, different people have different needs. And basically, I was told I was wrong. Not that I just had a different opinion, but I was told my opinion was wrong. I was told that I don't even remember all the words, but like, I did not feel like in this neurotypical message board that my different way of thinking about this scenario was welcome, understood, or even tolerated. And this is just one specific example. Let me get that clear, because I know a lot of people, neurodivergent or neurotypical, are going to have opinions about garage sale lady or gift giving mom. And what I finally came to the conclusion is that this is an okay situation to agree to disagree, because no one's really being harmed. It's just a difference of opinion. And the final thought is that the gift giver's feelings were maybe harmed because she thought the gifts that she was giving were not used as how she intended them to be used. So as the gift receiver from now on, because that was one of the things I was upset about. I was like, this could have been me, because I literally didn't see anything wrong with what this garage sale lady did because of how my logic brain works. And so I said, I just would have to make sure that I am not taking a gift if the gift receiver has a different thought about how I intended to use the gift.
I forgot to mention how my brain got stuck on this entire gift saga for the entirety of yesterday. I spent hours trying to reconcile this social situation in my mind so that I could get to the point to mostly let it go. Autistic people often will get stuck on a topic until they can understand it.
And I've had some other videos about gifts. Gifts are very hard for me as an autistic person. There is a lot of cultural significance around gift giving. Back in 2019 when, hold on, my kid is doing the blender. Okay, my daughter's making smoothies in the other room. So back in, I don't know if it was 2018 or 2019, Marie Kondo came out and she talked about how if you have an item that you no longer want, it does not fill you with joy to give it on, even if it was a gift. And that was like, it let me get rid of so much guilt I had around keeping gifts that people had given to me that I didn't know what to do with anymore, because that they were things that I didn't want. Anyway, so the issue is that I now have an awareness of why I'm different, and I'm struggling with how to work with that. Come to terms with it, I guess. So there's a book club that meets in my town that I've been on their message board for like several months now, and I've been trying to convince myself to go because these women seem very lovely and I would love to join their book club. Now, book clubs and PDA are this whole other thing. I've never been able to join a book club because as soon as someone tells me that I need to read a certain book, I literally cannot read that book. which was very hard in school. I had to push through and power through, but you know, I don't want to do that for a club. But this book club is bring your own book. You literally bring the book that you are currently reading and just share and potentially have the opportunity to info dump about it. Like, amazing. So I want to go to this club. And before my diagnosis, I would have just gone. I would have just blundered my way through it, because that's what I would do. I would just show up in these open invitation spaces and just, here I am. But now that I know that people are perceiving me, or how they're perceiving me, even if I don't say I'm autistic, because that's the thing. Most neurotypical people can spot an autistic person. They've done studies on it. They don't necessarily know they're autistic. They just label them as like, oh, that person's a little weird. That little person is strange. Oh, I didn't really quite connect with that person. These are the language that was used in the study. And so it's harder for me to enter that space right now, because I don't want to be masked. I want people to see me for who I am, because unmasking has been the best thing in my life. And I know that the right people will understand. But there's now a whole new level of awareness around it that is really hard to overcome. So I missed the one that was on Monday, the book club on Monday. I didn't schedule it. I didn't have the executive functioning skills to make it happen. The next one's in July, because I think they're only once a week. They might be every other week. I need to look into that. But if not, like, I do have a goal to go to one of these book clubs meetings. That's I don't like saying goals out loud sometimes, because then I really want to hold on to them. Okay, and now I have 10,000 people keeping me accountable. Okay, guys, but you know what? I'm here to vlog it, right? Vlog the experience. Oh, okay. I'm going to wrap up this video here. Thank you guys so much. I'm curious to hear the opinions of Garage Sale Lady and Gift Giver. Because, yeah, I did post it. I did a TikTok, which I have more autistic people in my TikTok space. And it was mixed. There were some autistic people who understood it from my point of view. And there were some autistic people who still saw it from the gift giver's point of view. And so, again, I don't know if it's neurotypical versus neurodivergent, or if it's just how our culture, American culture, is socialized towards gift giving. Curious. I'm still gathering opinions and thoughts on this subject. Until the next one, guys. Bye.